If you're looking for the best investing app for 2025, you're in the right place, because each year I research every single investment app to find the very best ones. I've personally tested over 50 of the top investing apps to work out which one comes out on top. Each of these apps I use personally and have over £300,000 of my own money invested into them, as I only want to recommend something I would actually use.
That's what we like to hear.
I say this because I think it's much more authentic and transparent when the person uses the apps that they recommend. To be completely transparent, I am affiliated with some of these providers. It helps fund my free content if you decide to sign up using my link. However, I'm super picky and I won't include platforms I wouldn't personally use, no matter how much they might offer me. Typically, the more expensive the platform is for you, the more they will pay influencers. So this is completely the opposite. And I have to say, please remember when you invest, your capital is at risk, and always double check everything you see on the internet. And I have to let you know that in this video, you won't see any of the so-called robo-advisors. These are platforms where they invest your money into funds that they've created and they manage it for you. As personally, I think they underperform the returns you can get by doing it yourselves. I don't use them, so I can't in good faith tell you to use them either. It's also super important you know that every app mentioned here is covered by both the Financial Services Compensation Scheme and the Financial Conduct Authority here in the UK, so they're highly regulated. I feel like each of these apps is best for different purposes, so I'll let you know how I use each of them, and I'll also let you in on a couple of apps that I'm watching that I think could make a big impact on the investing scene in this coming year. And I do have links which can get you a bonus for some of these providers. I'll leave the most up-to-date bonuses in the description. Some of them are exclusive to me, which I've been able to squeeze out of them, and I've had a few people sign up and mention they didn't get the bonus, so just make sure you go through the right link below so that it works. Okay, so number one is Invest Engine. If you ask me for just one app to invest with, this would be my top pick. The main reason being it's really simple to use and it makes investing so much easier. Invest Engine specializes in something called exchange traded funds, which is what I believe 99.9% of us should be buying, and it's what I personally invest in. Exchange traded funds are baskets of investments, thousands of companies in one investment, which eliminates the need for knowing which stock will perform best. They just let you aim for a steady return of around 8% per year. Now, what Invest Engine does on this front, which others don't, is provide a portfolio look-through tool. So you can buy one ETF with 4,000 companies in it, and it will tell you exactly how much of your money is invested in every individual company, which makes you realize you own individual stocks and super popular ones like Apple and Microsoft in a much lower risk way. This by far is my favorite feature. The other key standout feature is the ability to set certain percentages on your portfolio. So if you have 60% in one fund and 40% in another, you could invest £100 and it would split £60 into one and £40 into the other. There's also the ability to set up a savings plan, which can automatically do this for you each month. And if then percentages get off track, there's a rebalancing tool to get them back to the right percentages in just one click. This tool can actually save you big in fees by allowing you to buy cheaper ETFs with lower fees. I do this in my 2-fund Vanguard strategy, which you can see on my channel. Now, they have a big selection of ETFs. There's over 700 for you to choose from, so you won't be short of choice. They bunch together these into different collections, so you can easily choose between things like dividend-focused funds or active and thematic ETFs. This sorting ability they provide makes it far easier to find the right fund, which can be a real sticking point on other platforms. Or if you want some help setting this up, they provide a managed service for 0.25%. New for this year is their introduction of life plans, which are very similar to Vanguard's life strategy funds, but in my opinion they're better as they solve some of the key problems with Vanguard's, like too much focus on UK companies and them only including Vanguard funds. These so far have outperformed Vanguard's too, which is a huge plus. These are pre-built portfolios that are managed for you with different risk ratings. These will be hugely popular for people who are fans of life strategy. The really good thing is about Invest Engine, they seem to be the most adaptive platform out there in terms of adding what customers need and understanding them. A couple of things they've been trying to add have been held up by regulation and should be added shortly, but they know what people like. They've recently added a SIP to their platform and they decided to scrap the fee they were charging for it, making it a fee-free SIP in the UK, which is huge. And they've also just made their ISA flexible, which means you can easily take money out and back in without losing any of your allowances. This, coupled with the fact Vanguard's platform has just introduced a £4 per month minimum charge to their account, has investors flocking to Invest Engine with over 13 million deposited in 1 week alone. So now Invest Engine has a zero-fee flexible ISA, a SIP, and a business account, which I think is huge. On the flip side, brands like Vanguard seem to be pretty out of touch with their audience as a platform. We had the launch of their investing app this year, which was pretty disappointing, and now this new charge introduced, which just just hurts beginner investors the most. It just seems a bit strange to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Vanguard as an investment provider, but in terms of a platform, I'm not convinced on what they're trying to do. InvestEngine have been very clever to ride the Vanguard wave, and they've been able to offer the Vanguard funds for a cheaper fee, which I think is brilliant. InvestEngine also has over 9,797 reviews across Trustpilot, App Stores, Smart Money People, and Google, which is a really positive sign to see. And they've currently got a welcome bonus of up to £100 when you sign up and invest £100, which is really nice to see, which I'll pop down below for you. I have my ISA here and my SIP will be here this year too. I honestly can't recommend these guys enough. Next up is another app I really enjoy using and is massively popular, which is Trading 212. The main difference here is you can buy stocks as well as ETFs, and Trading 212 is known for its super low fees, especially for buying stocks, and is where I hold all of my individual stocks. They have an ISA available and a cash ISA that actually pays some of the best rates in the market. Trading 212 haven't yet launched their SIP, which depending on when you watch this video, it may have been released, but I expect it will be coming soon. They have over 13,000 global stocks and ETFs available, and there's no charges for opening or maintaining your account, nor for buying or selling assets. The only additional cost is a 0.15% FX fee for international stocks, which essentially covers currency conversion when purchasing stocks listed in dollars or other foreign currencies. This makes Trading 212 a very cheap option. One standout feature is Trading 212 support for fractional shares. Unlike traditional stockbrokers who require you to purchase whole shares, you can invest as little as £1 in a company like Apple, making it far more accessible for small-scale investors. Trading 212 also offers a unique trading pie feature, which allows you to build a personalized portfolio by grouping select companies together. You can set weightings for each company and automatically invest into the pie regularly, and even view projections based on past performance, though these aren't guidelines. While pies are a really good feature if used correctly, you should approach these with caution, because although there are pies out there, there's no guarantee who made the pie and they're not vetted. Anybody can make a pie, so just take them with a pinch of salt. The platform also includes helpful features like watch lists for trading stocks, price alerts, and insights into the most traded stocks. Their top winners and losers sections provide a snapshot of the market trends, which can be both insightful and entertaining to explore. What really makes Trading 212 stand out is just how simple it is to use and the low fees. It's one of the most beginner-friendly platforms for buying stocks, and you can also hold ETFs there if you prefer. While I personally use InvestEngine for my ETFs, Trading 212 is still a fantastic option and worth exploring, especially for stocks. If you're planning to open an ISA anyway, I would recommend signing up for multiple platforms to see which one you like best, as now you can open multiple ISAs, where in the past it was only one per year, which makes it much easier to try different providers out. So maybe you could have one on InvestEngine and one on Trading 212 and see which you prefer. Currently, Trading 212 is offering a promotion where new users will receive a free fractional share worth up to £100 when signing up, so it's a good time to try the platform and see if it suits you. Now, next up is one of your more traditional brokers, and this one is Hargreaves Lansdown. Admittedly, if you're looking for somewhere to go and buy stocks and ETFs, HL is going to be a more expensive option than the first two. It's not horrendous, and some people may want to pay it if they prefer a more established provider in terms of age and support. But there's a very specific reason I use them, and it's for their stocks and shares lifetime ISA. Now, unfortunately, we're really limited in terms of our options for providers when it comes to a lifetime ISA, as there's so much paperwork, a lot of providers don't deem it worth doing. But in terms of an app, I think HL is the best option for it. Even if it's not a lifetime ISA you're after, their pricing really isn't that bad. On the surface, it looks expensive, £11.95 to buy a stock, a huge jump from zero on Trading 212. But what you can do is purchase it at once for £11.95, and then there's no charge for buying into it every single month via direct debit. On top of that, you pay 0.45% or 0.25% for a lifetime ISA, which is capped at £45 for the year, or a maximum of £3.75 for the month. You'll need £10,000 in a stocks and shares ISA before you hit the maximum charge, or £18,000 in a lifetime ISA. I started by buying a mutual fund on there, not an ETF, which has now grown to being £4.24 per month. So it's actually time for me to switch over to ETFs. I did this because they changed the way they were charging, and it used to be cheaper to buy mutual funds, but now ETFs are the cheaper option. This is really your best option for lifetime ISA, I think, right now. AJ Bell is another option, but I don't really like the app interface. I feel like their design is lacking behind. HL, on the other hand, is very robust and it's pretty simple to use. Admittedly, the website version isn't as good, but the app is pretty sleek and you can do everything you would need on there. This is definitely one of my simpler hands-off accounts you can set and forget pretty easily with things like regular investing. I've used HL since I started investing 16 years ago now, and honestly, if it wasn't for their charges being more expensive expensive for me at the time of how I was trading, which was buying lots of individual stocks, I'd probably have never needed to move. I have to say their level of customer service is next level. Every time you get a response, it's very professional and well thought through, and they even offer phone support. I will say that I think quite an important point on the surface, just doing it by the cheapest provider may seem the best, but you actually might want to consider things like if phone support is important to you. Having a phone-based customer support team costs money, and it will likely be reflected in the fees they charge. Remember, the best things in life aren't always the cheapest. Hargreaves Lansdown is a go-to app in my opinion for a stocks and shares lifetime ISA. Even if it's not for one, it could be worth considering if you want either a more established provider or you want all of your accounts in one place, as you could have your ISA, SIP, and lifetime ISA all on one platform, which trust me, I have considered, but to me, it's not worth paying the extra fees for the convenience, in my opinion. Next up is one you may not be super familiar with, but is a huge name which has been around nearly 30 years and is based in Manchester, Interactive Investor. Now, Interactive Investor have a ton of different plans, and they've recently just added some more plans designed for the beginner investor, with their Essentials plan which starts from £4.99. Again, with these, you're getting UK-based phone number you can call if you need some support. You may think, aside from that, why would I pay for them compared to using something like Trading 212 or Invest Engine? Well, you might be surprised, but Interactive Investor is one of the most popular within the FIRE community, Financial Independence Retire Early, who are pretty frugal and financial savvy, to say the least. And the reason is their pension is one of the cheapest on the market, if not the cheapest at the moment, and this is why I have to mention them. Although I use Vanguard for mine, Interactive Investor's flat fee works out a lot better, because my fee scales at 0.15%, which goes right up to a whopping £375 for the year. In my video where I've compared SIPs, you can actually see once you get past around the 100k mark, the Interactive Investor fee stays the same and Vanguard's keeps going up. Now, of course, Invest Engine have scrapped their fee, so theirs is better if you're building up a SIP, but if you're getting the drawdown and need those functionality, Invest Engine doesn't currently offer that, so Interactive Investor would be the best option in that case for a pension. Another thing to consider here is if you are under that 100k, you may want to consider how important your historical financial data is, because when you transfer, 9 times out of 10 you will lose that data when you move across your pension. So you could look at it as an investment now for the future. Personally, I don't mind losing mine. When people see my ISA is up and it's like 2% up, it's a little frustrating as it's up far more than that. It's just over the years I've changed providers 3 times. In terms of features on there, you'll find pretty much everything you could ever want. I feel like the design is a little bit Marmite. Some people love it and some hate it. I don't mind it, but I do prefer the others. Now, there's a couple of apps I think are the ones to watch this year, which are as follows. First, which may be of interest, which will appeal to people looking for something more advanced, is XTB. XTB is a more comprehensive investing platform than some of the others on this list, and it has a wider range of investment options, including things like stocks and ETFs. One of the nice things they have is their investment plans, which allows you to create a plan with set percentages into your different investments and automatically invest into them, which makes investing a lot easier. This is quite similar to Trading 212's pies. A good thing about XTB is there's also a ton of educational resources available which you won't see on others, which will help you make more informed decisions and gain more knowledge. This year, XTB are leaning more in towards beginner investors and expanding their stocks and ETFs offering. I think there's some pretty big things coming for them this year. They've recently opened their ISA, which is flexible, meaning you can take money in and out without losing that allowance again. There's over 3,000 instruments you can trade with zero commission as long as your trading volume is under 100,000 per month. If your trading volume is above this, then well done. You're way above me. This one's worth giving a look, and I'll pop a link down below for you. One of the ones I've also been watching closely is Lightyear. For some of you, this will be new or a flash from the past, but they've essentially been waiting to get their FCA license here in the UK, which is huge, which they have recently gotten. This app looks super promising when it first launched. I've been quiet on this front as I can only mention directly authorized FCA firms, which I'm glad to say they now are. I have to say, from a trained graphic designer, the Lightyear app is pretty beautiful to look at. They really did a great job with it. And I think this one could be really exciting this year to see what's to come. They have one of the best interest rates in their vaults based on money market funds. There's no charge for buying ETFs, which is a huge plus, and it's just £1 per share for UK stocks and up to $1 US for US stocks. There's a wide range of ETFs and over 3,000 stocks, which have some pretty neat features built in, like stock analysis tools, which you won't get with other stock buying platforms. They also offer a business account, which is pretty huge for people wanting to get interest on the business cash, where business bank accounts tend to be pretty poor. They have a 4.8 score with over 1,000 reviews, which I think is a really great start. And now they've also launched their stocks and shares and cash ISAs with the same transparent pricing. As mentioned, all of the links to these will be in the description down below to make them easy to find. I hope this has been clear and given you some clarity, and I've tried to be as transparent as possible. You certainly don't need all of these accounts. Everyone will have different goals and ideas of what they value in an app, be it lower fees or a more premium customer support. But like I say, I would recommend just signing up and testing them all out to see which you like. These are all the apps I use. I've spent hours on end testing them all. So if you have any questions about any of them, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to answer. I'm so excited you're here. Be sure to join my journey on this channel up to 1 million and let's get you investing. And if you want to make sure you're making the most out of your investing, I would highly recommend you check out this video right here to make sure you're on the right track, and I'll catch you over there. Thanks.